Hi, Kevin. Becky Bast. Hi, welcome in. Hi, Sparrows. Welcome in. It's Wisdom Wednesday. Vanessa, hello, cuz. Welcome in, welcome in. It's another fabulous Wisdom Wednesday. I am Valerie Miller of TVM, the Valerie Miller. Double fold. This very moment, you have opportunity to change. So welcome in. We have a juicy tonight. Our guest being Twanna Carter. She is an anxiety and career coach. And I'm looking for my phone because it's pinging somewhere. And so I'm hopeful that it does not ring during this recording. I really should probably go and get that. What fuss are you talking about, Kevin? You want to see what all the fuss is about? There is no fuss, only juiciness. And thank you so much for coming in. Thank you. I appreciate each and everybody that's in the room. Ariel, welcome in. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to come in for Wisdom Wednesday. Each and every Wednesday we have a different guest, whether if it's a coach, if it's an entertainer, an author, influencer, entrepreneur. It just varies week by week. It's one thing for me to be on talking about things, what I do as a conscious change coach and strategist. It's all about lifestyle and how you live. All this sparrow talk. Yeah, you're a sparrow. I'm a sparrow. We're all sparrows. It's all about the analogy of what the sparrow stands for, Kevin. If you look at Luke 12:6, it's in the scriptures. Man value the sparrow a little of nothing. You got 5 sparrows for only 2 cents, which there's no value. However, when you look at mankind, value is endless. So God treats everyone and everything one and the same. So if he can take care of the sparrow, and you know the quote, he'll take care of you too. Just had to shine a little light on you, that's all. That's all. So being called a sparrow, that's a gift. Hi Shonda, welcome to the room. Yes. I mean, topic tonight, is coming from, like I said, an anxiety and career coach. And she, being a doctor, she's done her homework when it comes to this topic. I personally, like I said, I'm conscious. I deal with the mind and I deal with the heart and bridging that and living a conscious lifestyle. So when you live a conscious lifestyle, which is in alignment to what your birthrights are, that thing that God gave you, the scripture says our gifts make room for us. So if you're not utilizing your gifts, you're cheating yourself and everybody else in life. You are. We all have our responsibilities. So we also have the option of choice. That's it. And that is all. However, tonight we're talking on anxiety. We've all had our bouts with that from one time or another when life becomes a lot. And knowing how to deal with those things and putting them in perspective place. And again, going back to consciousness. Yep, that's exactly what's happening. Can't get over you, Kevin. All of this fuss. How's everybody doing? Have you had a great day? Tell me where you're viewing from. There are some of you that I know, and then there's going to be some of you that I don't know because you're going to be coming from Twanna's camp. So I don't know. If you're a veteran sparrow, then put #veteran. If you're a newbie, put #newbie. If you're coming from Twanna's camp, put #visitor. Be sure to go ahead and thank you, Kevin. Brooklyn, New York is in the house. Definitely share that because I like to know where everybody is viewing from. It's amazing how every day I can have so many conversations and accept so many new friend requests of people that I cleared. I just don't know. However, you know, they've heard something or they've read something somewhere, and they've sent a friend request simply because they want to be a part of these Mondays and Wednesdays and periodic Fridays shows. So that's a good thing. And all it's about is basically sharing awareness, giving you the juicy on what's going on and how you can better your life every single day. Danny Johnson, welcome to the room. So for all of the individuals who are going to be coming on later, be sure to put hashtag replay if you're going to be catching the replay. And not a big deal. Twanna should be in the room shortly, and then we can go ahead and get our conversation started. Indeed. How has the day been? Tell one thing great that happened today. Something great. I received a text, an email from somebody I hadn't heard in a little while, and that just absolutely made my day. And I'm going to have to write about that as my gratitude time for today. The feeling of good news, and when you receive good news and how elated you are. Sometimes it's just very indescript of what that feeling is like. But if you can just be present in the moment when you're having those great feelings of emotion, and you're smiling all big and your cheeks are popping, your eyes are bright, take time and take all of that in, because we don't have opportunity to receive those types of feelings every single day. So hopefully little Miss Twanna can come on in here. I hate to walk away so I can get my phone in case you try to reach out to me. You got asked for another movie role today. Spike Lee have a new movie. Congratulations. That is awesome news, Kevin. We need to talk. I'm very proud of you. It doesn't matter how small the roles are. It's just the fact that you're going to have opportunity to play. And then on top of it, a Spike Lee joint? Seriously. A role on a Spike Lee film, that could really catapult you, sir. I'm just saying. Considering he just won an Oscar too. Are you kidding me? Joyce, how are you doing, ma'am? Joy's in the room. Thank you so much for coming in. Hi, Demetrius. I miss you. Candy. Brother and sister back to back. Look at that. Hello, Mini-Me. So great of you for all coming in. And I'm not sure where my guest is. I'm not sure. I recall you having the film, the role with Forrest Whitaker. We have to talk, seriously. Because sometimes I forget that you're in New York and you're in the world of film. That's always a good thing. You never know. You may have to be invited on as a guest. You mess around and get some of these roles. Okay? Okay, Twanna, I'm going to add you in so we can go ahead and get our conversation started. I think we got it. It's always a good thing. You never know. You may have there she is.
Yes.
Some of these roles. Yes.
Been listening to you, and I did the invite, and it was a little delayed.
It was. It is okay. Hi, Candy.
Hello.
Hello, Sandy Longo. Everybody, look at little Miss. Well, no, I want to say Dr. Twanna Carter. Yes, welcome to the room. Thank you so much for coming in and spending some time with myself and the sparrows tonight, because everybody suffers from anxiety at some point or another. And I felt it was one of those topics that should be talked about, because it happens in the workplace. It happens in our personal lives. It happens when we go to the supermarket, sometimes. And it's so many things that we have to take into consideration when it happens. Because I tell you right now, the first time it ever happened to me, I didn't know what was going on. We can do too much. I'm just saying.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I've already introduced myself. We're
Okay, well,
waiting
great.
for you. So I'm going to pass the torch over to you so you can give some specifics about yourself. I gave just a snippet
Okay.
about you, and then we can just carry on.
Okay, well, great. I am, as she said, Dr. Tawana Carter, and I am an anxiety and career coach for women. And so Valerie and I had spoken before because I was one of those people that suffered with anxiety and I didn't know it was anxiety. So I was almost 40. Um, for most of my adult life, I just felt there was something wrong with me, and it was this little secret that I kept hidden away. I didn't know what. I just knew I wasn't like other people. Particularly, I suffer from social anxiety, and it was a very steep slope to climb. Um, those of you who suffer from social anxiety, you'll understand this. You get invited to a social event, you're all excited to go because you're being included, and you get dressed, you may buy a ticket, you get in your car, you drive to the event, you look at the event, and you turn around and you drive home. Okay, those are some of the symptoms of social anxiety. So, um, when we talk about how I got to this space, because I was almost 40,
Hmm.
and before I realized I had it, it actually self-diagnosed. I was going through my master's training for counseling and going through the DSM, and I found myself. Now, in our society, we talk about mental health as if it's hush hush and oh my God, there's something wrong with you.
Exactly.
When I found out I had social anxiety, I was one of the few people who's like, yes, I know what it is. Yes. Literally, I was like,
It has a name.
that's me.
It has a name.
It's a name to it. I'm not crazy. I know. Hey. And for me, what it did was I put a label to it. I named it.
Right.
And because I could name it, I could fight it.
Exactly.
So that's how I got to this space because I put a name to it and I learned how to fight it step by step, little by little. It
Hmm.
is a battle. And I tell people I'm recovering from social anxiety because you don't ever just really get over it at the most inopportune moment. Poof, it's just there. But you have the strategies, you have, your supports, and you have that accountability, and then you go and you tell yourself. A good example, I was telling my ladies in my group last week. I walked into a food court, and wham!
Just
I
like,
literally almost did a U-turn. I almost did a U-turn and just left
why? Where does it stem from?
because my negative thought said everybody in here is looking at you.
Hmm.
I bet your hair is not straight. I bet something on your clothes is not straight. These people are gonna wonder at you. And I had knee surgery. I've had knee surgery, so I walk very slow. They're gonna wonder why you're walking like you crazy. Everybody here is looking at you. You may trip. You may fall. You're gonna look stupid. And literally, before I did the U-turn, I said, "Wait, no, absolutely not." You know what? One of my strategies is when I feel that coming on and all the negative thoughts hit me,
Uh-huh.
I start making eye contact with the people around me because your thoughts say everybody in here is looking at you. Hundreds of people, they're looking at you. And when I start looking around at people, they weren't worried about me.
Don't even.
Okay, they didn't care. But your negative thoughts say yes. And when you get those thoughts and you hold on to those thoughts, you then become emotional based on those thoughts. And
Exactly.
when you become emotional based on the thoughts, you then take action. My action was do a U-turn and go back to my office and get a candy bar and call it a day. You don't need lunch because these people are looking at you. And so that's the trajectory of anxiety. You have negative thoughts that tell you something. When you let them land and sit, they cause you to feel some kind of way. In my case, fear and anxiety.
Right.
For other people, it's anger. For other people, it's depression.
Mm-hmm.
When the thoughts land and now we feel some kind of way, we then take actions based on what we feel. And
Exactly.
so before that driving past the event, like, okay, no, I'm not going in there. Look at all those people. I'm not going in there, and everybody's going to look at me and they're going to talk about my clothes, or they're going to find me boring. They're going to think I'm stupid. They're going to think I'm ugly. All the negative thoughts flood in.
Well, you have to look at it for what it is, and it's just like hushing the voice. You have to quiet
Correct.
the voice. And
Yes.
Kevin Davis, he said that he became the aggressor and assertive so that he no longer have that issue. So that's
Absolutely.
a great way of looking at that. And
Yes.
as you're saying these things, I'm playing it in my mind like, okay, what happened? What happened? What happened that day? Because it only happened for me once. And it wasn't due to the description of what you just had. But I knew that's what it was in the end because I was moving, I was writing at the time, a whole lot of things, and a new job. It was a
Mhm.
lot of things going on. I was doing
Mhm.
interior design and I had these clients that I was working with in the midst of all this stuff, and all of that hit at the same time.
Yes. At the same time.
At the same
Yes.
time, because when I had the movers, they were moving everything in, everything was going well. And being a designer, we measure everything, make sure it fit, it's got to go there. What I did not do was measure the front door. Uh,
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
being a designer, we create things because a regular size sofa isn't good enough. We're going to custom a sofa. We're going to build this sofa. Okay. I had a sofa that was 40 plus inches deep, and it had a built-in frame of the legs. You can't take these legs off. It's built in the frame. It could fit the
Oh.
door. Who's getting ready to get rid of a $7,000 couch? I don't think so. No. But I ended up having to cut the legs off to get it in the door. I panicked because I'm like, this sofa's got to get in here today. It's getting
Uh-huh.
dark. What am I going to do with it? I only have the movers for a certain amount of time. Honey, I had to call a second set of movers. They had to airlift that couch to my balcony,
Oh, wow.
and that's where it sat.
Wow.
I decided what I was going to do with it. So when I finally sat down, it was just like, oh my God, oh my God. It happened. The whole thing just came over. It's like the experience of the day, of everything that's going on. And then I had to tell myself, this is the first and the final time this will ever happen to me because it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. And it really puts you in a vulnerable space
Yes.
instantly.
Yes.
So being a conscious coach and strategist is different ways you have to come at it. And that's why I'm
Yes.
glad you and I connect this way because there's a ton of coaches and we all have different niche. We do different things. And I wanted to bring you on because you've done all the work. You're the doctor in it. And to look at it from a different standpoint. But see,
Yeah.
the sparrows and your followers appreciate just the juiciness of the things that can help them in those moments. And then I love the fact that you share your stories of what you go through and experience. Okay.
Absolutely. So let me make a correction. I do have a PhD is in human services, and self-disclosure. In addition to being a certified health coach, I'm also a licensed professional counselor and a
Yeah.
licensed clinical professional counselor. So that's where my background in anxiety comes from. And like I said, I discovered I had it as I was getting my counseling degree. And I love the fact that you talk about what do you need to do in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I knew it was it's 7:05 and I didn't see the little thing pop up to get on, I said, okay. And I found you, I was listening to you. I was like, did she already bring me on? And so, the anxiety kicked in, right? I was like, oh my gosh. Should have said, no, we're not even doing this.
Not
I
today.
started breathing. Breathing is your best friend. It is a go-to strategy. And a lot of people hear breathing, and they're probably like me. The first time I heard a social worker, a licensed social worker say breathe, I was like, I breathe every day.
No, you don't.
What is breathing gonna do for me? And so I was sitting in class like, oh my God. here we go. Before I had my counseling degree, I played along with it. And
What's that?
in about 2 or 3 minutes of the deep breathing from the diaphragm, like she said, I put myself to sleep. And then as I almost fell over out of the chair, I said, there may be something to this breathing thing. And for the people that think it's kind of woo-woo, whatever, there's a biophysical component to it. It's connected to the brain and the entire body. So what you do typically when we breathe on a day-to-day basis, we're breathing from the chest. And that doesn't help. When you breathe from the diaphragm, that's that deep belly breath, your tummy should rise with the breath. All you need are 10 breaths, which is equal to 2 minutes. If you breathe from the diaphragm for 10 breaths or 2 minutes, it triggers your fight or flight syndrome. It turns it off.
Yes.
So what are you doing? In that breathing, number one, you're being mindful of your breathing. Number two, those deep breaths trigger your vagus nervous system to turn off your fight or flight. I call it a switch. The switch can get flipped on and you're not expecting it, but deep breathing turns your switch off. Two, you're getting extra oxygen to your brain, and then the little chemicals and everything is firing. And I don't know if you understood, if a lot of people know this, but each second, 5 times each second, your brain scans. And it scans for like, are we okay? Or do we need to be in fight? Or do we need to be in flight?
Yeah. If it's turmoil or if it's steady.
Say again?
It's if it's turmoil. It's picking up the vibrations.
It does. 5 times every second. So if your brain scans and for 2 minutes, you're doing a deep breathing, your brain goes, oh, wait, turn off all that stuff. She's cool. He's cool. You're good. When you turn off the fight or flight, then your prefrontal cortex can take over. That's the strategic part of your brain. Makes decisions, thinks logically, or even is like, girl, don't cuss your boss out. I know it may feel good, but don't do that. That's the part of your brain that kicks in when you turn off fight or flight, And if I had known that, that's a part of my brain that could have said, girl, park that car and get out instead of keep on driving.
That's so true. It's true. Take it back to breathing exercises. I do that with clients also. It's a part of just calming yourself and aligning, because we do get frustrated at times and just get all flustered for no reason. You stop and breathe, and they pretty much say the same thing. Val, what are you talking about? I breathe. If I'm not breathing, I wouldn't be living. I'm like, let me correct you. It's a proper way of breathing, and you have to go through all the process of teaching them how to breathe. Something like you've heard before, the importance of 32 chews. Things like that. It's vital to the structure of your whole existence. It really is. And if you're not doing things accordingly, it will throw off every chemical imbalance in your life. It will do it anyway.
It'll do it. And the other thing that I know I struggle with, bad coach, is I'm a night owl. And so I love going to sleep 12-1. I don't do the 2-3 as much, but not getting enough sleep messes with the chemicals. It throws everything off in your brain, and it's very easy to have your anxiety triggered. Not exercising. Exercising can actually decrease your anxiety, and eating a proper diet actually helps decrease anxiety.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're not exercising, do something. I'm big on meditation, yoga.
Yes.
Things like that. And another thing you can do, I'll get up and just dance in the middle of the day. If my song's on, I'm going to get up and I'm going to dance for a few minutes, and then I'm over it, and then I can go back to work.
Yes. It only takes to trigger the brain chemicals to make your brain healthy. It only takes 20 minutes of exercise 4 days a week at the very least. and you produce all these chemicals in your brain that help you to build resilience, and it helps to fight anxiety. And I got to tell you, with my knee, the exercise has really been off with my knee problems. I fractured my heel last February, and then I had knee surgery.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you now, I have to do something. So I slowly walk. I mean, it's a slow walk, but I make sure I walk that 15, 20 minutes, and I plank. I mean, you can just get down on the floor and plank.
Yes.
It doesn't take a lot to fill in to get those 20 minutes four
Right.
times a day. Yeah.
But eating is definitely another thing. Eating
Yes.
properly and getting the rest, understanding what you're putting in your mouth, because that's what ails
Yes.
you 99% of the time.
Yes.
And it triggers the brain, which causes the anxiety. And then you're going to end up saying me or Twanna. so, and it's not your
True.
doctor, because your doctor can't treat you for this because they don't know that's what you're doing. They're not going to ask you all of the questions that we're going to ask you. And 9 times out of 10, you see one of us, you won't see a doctor.
Yes.
Because it's all what's in your mind. It's all about what you're doing every day, how you're living, and the choices that you're making.
Exactly. And I love the fact that you said choice, because I'm working with a few people now, and I told them, she's like, well, this just triggers my anxiety, it just makes me so angry, and I can't help it. And I said, nah, that's a choice.
Yeah.
You're choosing to be angry. It's a choice.
Yes.
And I had radio silence, and she said, what did you think about that? I said, it's a choice. We have 60 to 70,000 thoughts that go through our brains on a daily basis.
Every day.
Every single day. And if you start by just taking, you know what, I'm going to take the first 10 and I'm going to negate them, I'm going to find the false. Typically, that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
But if you choose to let the thoughts land, I say, 60 to 70,000 thoughts run through your brain, but you don't have to let them land.
No.
You don't. You can let them bounce.
Yeah.
Because that's a choice. It really is a choice. And like you said, breathing, mindfulness, and yoga, those are two of the best things that if you're having problems with, especially some people with anxiety get the racing thoughts. And it's just like they feel like I can't breathe, I can't think, and it feels like I'm going to die. Yes. Yoga and mindfulness are two of the best things to do to control the thoughts. And we're not talking, we're not talking 30 minutes. We're talking breathing. What I do with my clients, we start off every session with 10 breaths.
Yeah.
And then you take it up to 5 minutes. And if you want, you take it up to 8, you take it up to 10 to do what's comfortable for you.
Yes, a gradual process.
It's a gradual process, because you gotta introduce new things in very small chunks, or else that brain goes, oh my God, it's all new and I can't do this. Yeah. No, we can't do this. And it doesn't matter if it's healthy. The brain's like, no, stick to what you know. Let's just be safe and let's just be comfortable. But you do it in small steps and it tricks the brain. It really does.
It does. Yeah. Whittington Steele saying that, it's things that release the endorphins, and the endorphins are very powerful. And you have to do things that's going to release them, and that also causes friction when you do not.
Yes. Yeah. Very much so. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. And then, reward yourself. I know that when I walked into the food gallery I came back and I told my group, I was like, yes, I won this battle. You have to reward yourself, because if you reward yourself, your brain's like, oh, let's do that again. It feels, that was nice. Let's do that again. The other thing that you can do is when you have these thoughts rolling in, look at them as a challenge. Gamify it. They talk about gamifying it. Look at it as a game.
Right.
Gamify it, because it becomes a challenge. Your brain cannot tell the difference between anxiety and excitement. Mm-hmm. It really doesn't. Now, I don't happen to like roller coasters. When my kids were younger, I was like, I'd be darned if they get on a roller coaster without me. So they were excited to get on the roller coaster. I
You
was scared to death to get on the roller coaster, but I got on there anyway.
you
And
had
that feeling that you feel, your brain really can't tell the difference between excitement and anxiety. So if you put it as a challenge to yourself
I
and you
agree.
say, okay, I'm going to get excited about going up here and doing this presentation, your brain's like, oh, we're excited and not scared. Oh, okay, well,
Ab-
let's be excited.
Absolutely.
It's real simple to, it seems like it's like, really? Yes, really.
That
If you
easy.
deem
It's
it a
really,
game and a challenge and
mhm.
become excited about it, it's another way that you can accomplish those small things that, sometimes scare you to death. You
Absolutely.
know? Yeah.
And that's why the basis of what I do is love. You need to love what you're working toward, and then it's challenge based. What I do,
Yes.
everything is a challenge. I will put you on the spot with a deadline and a heartbeat,
Hmm.
because if you don't have something to work toward to get over what the fear may be or what that uneasiness feels like, then you're going to always stay in the same place. So
Yes.
find the love in it, the purpose, the why you're needing to do that, and it will make it easier to work toward it, because the more you do it and do that every day with a deadline in sight,
Yes.
then you can pace yourself to reach what that destiny is.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that you said love, because if we took the time to write out all the negative things that we say to ourselves and then write that list and hand it off to someone else, it's not going to go well because it's so negative. We
Mm-hmm.
have to love ourselves first. And that's typically when I work with people with anxiety, that's the first hurdle to get over. Is
Exactly.
they've gone so long, and our society says if you have a mental illness and you have anxiety, you're wrong, you're this, you're not that, and they don't love themselves anymore. And that's the first hurdle to understand. Actually, the number one purpose for anxiety is to help you. You know, how many of you have walked through your neighborhood and it's just been a gorgeous day? It's like that spring day, and it's just got that feel in the air, and you can feel the breeze on your face, and it feels so good to get out and walk. And you're like, I'm helping myself, I'm being healthy, and everything's going well. And then you hear a dog bark. Okay, okay,
It
you know,
startles you,
see,
and you're looking.
you need anxiety. What happens is your anxiety kicks in, but it is supposed to kick in because you need it to kick
Warning,
in. You
warning.
need the anxiety to say, do we run or do we fight? Okay?
Yeah, you're
You
doing that
do.
look around. Like,
You do the
okay,
look. You really do. You do the look around. How far away is he? Can I outrun him, or do I got to find something to stand here and fight?
right.
And then some of us just freeze when we hear it.
Yeah, that's
That's
that.
the purpose of anxiety. The number one purpose of anxiety, excuse me, is to help. And as long as you look at anxiety as the enemy, it
Right.
will always be the enemy. The first purpose is to help and save your life. It really is. So you got to name it. Thank you for saving me, but today I'm just doing a presentation. I don't need to be afraid today.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
good.
going to look at this presentation as a challenge, and I'm going to get excited. We'll be scared about something else, but list it, name it, and then tell your brain, no, we're going to be excited about this. Thank you for helping me, if I saw the dog, but today it's just a presentation. It's just a presentation in front of a bunch of human beings.
Yes, that's no
That's
different
it.
than me. It's not about comparing. It's not about being
Yes.
fearful or feeling
Yes.
like, they're, doing, because I, for me, and I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to conscious coach you right quick. I'm going to need you whenever those things, when it happens to you, I'm firm on I don't care. I don't care. You can say whatever you want. You can try to raise up and startle
Yes.
me, distract me, put me on this rabbit hole chase of a detour. Not today. I'm quick to say, oh, no, no, not today. I don't care.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Yes.
And when you say that, it also changes your mindset. It
Yes.
boosts, that
Yes.
inner power. Like, you know
Mhm.
what? That's right.
Mhm.
Not today. Not today, dude.
Exactly.
Because I've got things to do. This is my list and it's going to be done. Thank you, Jesus. And then I keep right on going.
Keep right on going.
Right on going. There's no time
Yes.
for it. None.
Yes.
You
And
know,
that's a mantra that I have often. I don't have time for this today. Not, I don't have time. I have to do, I just don't have time to do this. Maybe another day, but not this day. I got things I need to
never
do,
days. Never.
places I need to go.
I can't, never that. I
Yes.
can't, never that.
Yes, because it's a choice. You're making a conscious choice. And a
Right.
lot of people don't know that 50 to 55% of what we do on a daily basis is based on subconscious habits.
Yes.
We're on autopilot. So
Yes.
you have to say, not today, we're not going to do this. You say it out loud, you speak it, and then you take action to make it so. That's
Hmm.
how you rewire the brain. And I love that you're like, I don't have time. And literally that's what I say. I don't have time today because I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this. At the end of the day, if I get some time to have anxiety, I'll worry about it then. But you're rewiring your brain every time you say no, not today, or else I'm going to be excited about this, and take that action. Taking action rewires your brain one task, one habit at a time. It's a journey, it's a process. It doesn't necessarily happen overnight, but it is a process and you can overcome it.
You know what? I'm going to twist the conversation just a little.
Okay.
I'm going to twist it.
Hmm.
We both have clients where we work with them when it comes to career paths,
Yes.
right? And looking at and being anxious or having that anxiety and that frustration every day.
Hmm.
I'm going to just throw it out there. Say about 80 to 85% of those inflicted wounds in the workplace comes from you doing the wrong job. You're in the wrong place.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
in the wrong place.
Yes. Yes.
So once you unveil that and it's understanding what to do about it, because I'm going to have
Yes.
you explain how you go about doing it. But with me, and I'm sure all of you sparrows have heard me say it a million times, I introduce you to yourself. And what I mean by that is we unveil what your birthright gifts are. Once you understand what you were born to do and the things that you do naturally, if you're not in alignment with those things, that is 85% of your problems every day. You're
Hmm.
sick for no
Hmm.
reason. You're
Hmm.
aggravated when you have to go in on Monday. You
Hmm.
know, my gosh, you're eating too much. You're eating wrong. Your relationships are suffering. And then you
Hmm.
want to blame God for it.
Ooh.
So,
Okay, now.
saying,
Yes.
those are the things that I unveil and put the mirror in your face and say, these are the things that you have chosen. Now, what are you going to do about it to rediscover you?
Yes. Yes.
That's what consciousness looked like from my side, from dealing with the mind, because your mind does affect your heart. And then it also, in turn, the words that come out of your mouth.
Yes.
So, as a man thinketh, he is. So,
Yes. Absolutely.
right? So, from your
Yes.
side of the tracks, because it has a lot to do with it. So much to do with it.
It
You
it does.
job,
Yes.
money, but not for what brings you joy.
Yes. I do a lot of people that come in to see me, come in because it's surrounding the career, the
Right.
job, my boss, my coworker, or I just don't know why, but I'm sick when I go to work and I'm calling off only. I've used up all my leave.
Yeah.
It's March and all of my leave for the year is gone. But that is exactly it. And the thing is people are comfortable and they're afraid to change. And when
Right.
they think about changing, they get anxious. And
Yes.
so the thing is I call it's transition.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this. I had a elderly lady that told me this years ago. She said, "Baby, all money ain't good money."
There isn't.
And
No,
it,
I'm so over
it's just
it.
it really isn't. It really isn't. You can have a six-figure job and be miserable every day. You can have a third of a six-figure job and love what you do and be
Absolutely.
happy every day. but it isn't. Sometimes you are anxious because you're not in the right place. And
Right.
I tell you, I'll say this, I'm a late bloomer. I was almost 40 before I found my groove. I call it my groove.
Mm-hmm.
Coaching and counseling, those are my grooves, but I was almost 40 before I found the place where I was comfortable and saying, this, I'm here. I made it,
Right.
you know. But what I found out that I had a track record. Every 5 years I changed jobs,
Mm-hmm.
clockwork,
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't in my passion. I wasn't in my purpose.
You're seeking it.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, you're consistently seeking.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I can't wait to get this. I get the job, and it's like, no, this wasn't it. And you go. So the thing is to do when you come in, and oftentimes when I see people, we treat the symptoms of anxiety.
Right.
Once I can get people to, do the breathing and calm down, then we go back to like, what do you do? What do you like about the job?
Right.
Okay, what did you dream of doing when you were younger?
Exactly.
You know, if you won the lottery today, what would you do?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's a big question
That
because
would tell a
I'll
lot.
have people to go and they'll tell me, I don't know. I don't know what I do. I don't know. And that tells me that we got a lot of work to do because they don't know what their passion is because they've been stuck so long in doing what I had to do to survive.
Right.
And when you're in survival mode for so long, it cuts off your ability to have a vision. And
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes when my clients come see me, it's one of, message popped up on my phone. Hopefully it didn't interrupt anything.
Just a little.
I have, it's just something that I've always done. I help people find their vision and then come to me and it's like, I don't have a clue. I don't know. It's just something that I can sit down and I can talk with people and within a session or two,
Mm-hmm.
they find their vision. I help them find their vision.
Exactly.
Then you can go on a track. Now, most of us are not in a place where we can just quit a job because, the mortgage is around the company and the light bill is going to be calling your name and a car note and everything else. But what you can do is start to do an exit plan, a transition plan. You've got to update your resume, and sometimes it's a 180-degree turn from what you're doing, you know. But
Yeah.
I get people to look at the transferable skills. Throw
Right.
away whatever job title you're doing. Look at your transferable skills because they transfer to any job and we all have them. We
Yeah.
may not know we have them, but we all have them. So it is about finding your purpose and your passion,
Right.
doing a transition plan, redoing your resume. There are free classes out there if you need to upgrade. There are college courses, there are junior college classes you can take if you need to upgrade.
Right.
But there are low cost things that you can do to update and upgrade your resume. You can go volunteer. You can do a shadow. There are a lot of things you can do versus just quitting your job and not paying the bills
Not
because I
right.
understand you got to pay the bills.
It is
But
not.
there is a way to do it and plan it so that it quiets down your critter brain and you don't freak out. And then you start with the vision. And there is a
Exactly.
psychological, biophysical component to why we have visions. You have to have a vision. Without a vision, the people perish.
Oh yeah.
Having a vision of where you want to go, what job you want to have, what relationship you want to be in, or what relationship you want to be out of. It
Believe that.
starts with a vision. Because
Right.
some of us aren't in the right relationships. We're not in the right jobs, we're not in the right relationships.
Yes. And
But
if
it
you
starts
those.
with the vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You're right. 100%. And that's
yeah.
when the light bulb comes on. That's when you start noticing the petals of the flower unfolds and opens. And
Yes.
there are times that you have all the skills that you need, you have the gifts, you have
Mm-hmm,
the talents.
mm-hmm.
It's just being outright lazy and don't want to do the work to do what you need to do to transition out. However, you'll sit in the place and complain. Pity parties, that's where they come from. So
Yes, yes,
there are times when I have to have these types of conversations. I can be
yes.
sweet and kind, but then I can be brutal. I can tell you all about yourself. all in love, because you are cheating yourself out of life every single day.
Yes.
You're not doing what you were born
Yes.
to do and serving your purpose and doing what you're supposed to do in this world, because we all have gifts and responsibilities for that.
Yes.
So every single month, I have an exit strategy program. In 4 weeks, there's no reason you wouldn't have the tools that you need to transition out of the
Yes.
career that you have to even launch a business of your own. All the tools
Yes.
are listed in 4 weeks' time. Be Fabulous 365.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, all of those things. It's about you discovering yourself.
Yes.
That's what I do. But
Because
then,
once you have that vision, your brain starts to produce chemicals
right,
that open up the neural pathways and start building new neural pathways, and it starts to subconsciously and consciously you begin to work towards that goal.
exactly.
Sometimes people are comfortable, and some people say lazy, they're comfortable.
Yeah,
And the other thing is people get bogged down in how I'm going to do that, how's that going to work. You're not Yours is not to be concerned about the how.
it's the first step.
Yours is to be concerned about an action,
Right.
because if you take the action and it wasn't the right one, you self correct, and then you take the next action. You
Yeah,
self correct, you take the next one and the next one. If you fall down, you look
yeah,
back, that didn't work, I should have done it this way. You pick yourself up and you go. Because success is not a straight line. It's
no,
this really curvy, crazy line that goes up and down and around, but you pick yourself up every time and you keep marching towards a vision.
right.
And again, you have brain chemicals that produce.
This connection's terrible. Did you freeze just a little bit? But you know
Yeah.
what? I did hear what you said. Have the vision, make it plain.
Yes.
I'm going to say probably 35 years ago, 35 years ago, had a dream. I've always wanted to have my own business. Didn't know what the name was going to be. Back then, I just knew for sure it was going to be interior design or a boutique or something like that. Love fashion, love interiors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, in a dream, this name, Visions, came. It's
Okay.
Visions, but it's spelled differently. VYZONS LLC. That is my company name. Now, TVM falls under Visions LLC because it's so many ideas, it's so many things that's to come to life. So sharing that story with clients, sharing it with everybody else, and say, well, Val, you've done all this over the years. Yeah, my resume is very diverse. The thing is, I choose careers that I love doing.
Yes.
I choose
Choices.
the choices, and every
Yes.
single one has led me to where I sit right now. Right now. But if you pay attention, you are told. Your conscious tells you.
Yes.
It tells
Mm-hmm.
you. And it goes back to choice again. Do I listen to it, or do I take that six-figure job? Do I listen to it and that was 40,000 less? No, I want this car, but you should probably get that car because you put yourself in positions where it's financial, you can't afford to now transition. You have family to
Mm-hmm.
transition, but then you're miserable every day, and you're going to pay it one way or the other because your health is failing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When that starts to happen, you can't afford it in any area. So you have to unlayer
Yes.
all of the things that you built yourself because you ignored conscious. You ignored
Yes.
your spirit
Yes.
because that's what conscious is your
Mm-hmm.
spirit. It says,
Mm-hmm.
hey, don't do that, Val. Hey, don't do that, Twanna. But then you know what? We see that little shiny sparkly over there, and we go with sparkly and end up
Mm-hmm.
paying the price, you know?
Yes.
Julia, what are you saying? She said it's hard to walk away, the fear of starting over. Baby girl, let me tell you, it's not starting over, it's just beginning.
Yes.
It's the beginning of
It's a
everything
beginning.
that you have in your heart, everything you dreamt of is a choice away. It's that close to you,
Yes.
you know? And just think about
Yes.
those things that are very irritable to you, the things that, you wish you had an opportunity to change because of this or because of that. And then another thing you can look at is ask your question this. If it was something I can do today and I had no option but to win, what would it be? What would you do to It's that easy. But, the
Hmm.
choices, they're easy, however, hard. Well, they are, because you have to look at everything that's in alignment and who's going to be affected. You know, I may say I can up and do that, but you can't do that. You have children, you have a husband, you have a family,
Yes.
all these things. You can't just project out and say, this is what I'm going to do on this day. But you do have the wisdom to align yourself to say, hey,
Yes.
it goes back to writing it down, making it plain, strategizing. How are you going to get there? If you need help,
Yes.
that's how
Yes.
you go about getting that done. But if you go back, like Twanna mentioned in the beginning, go back to 5 years old. What did you want to
Hmm.
be at 5 years old? That's where your truth lies. You're innocent. You have nothing but honesty to come from your heart at 5 years old.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
what do you want to be at 5? This one said, I want to be a pilot. Always wanted to be a pilot. Have I done that yet? No. Had opportunity 3 times and missed it, you know? But not because I chose it, you know? But the thing is, eventually I will get my wings. I'm just going to take the course. But the thing is, when the time came, I knew, even as a kid, what I wanted to do. My daddy said no the first time and had full ride on
Mm.
at 17. He said no. And then again, young adult, I had the choice to work with US Airways. Okay. I turned it down because they were paying me less money than when I was working at USA Today. So looking at it like that, I stayed because of the money. I should have left to do that because it would have taken me to something else in life. However, making those choices directs where you sit today, your outcome. So when you're at that fork in the road and you need to make a decision, be mindful, wait out woes and all of the acceleration of joy for each side to be sure. Project out 5 years and see yourself what you're doing according to each choice. Then that will help you decide, you know? I get all hot and flustered
Yes.
like this because
Yeah.
it's it's a beautiful thing when you have the freedom to do what you know you want to do, that you've always dreamt of doing, and then you monetize it, you know?
Yes. Absolutely. Because the thing is this, if you have when you have anxiety, you let fear make your choices for you.
Yeah,
Because I'm like you, when I got out of the military, um, Nabisco begged me to work for them. And my anxiety and fear, I couldn't see being in Philadelphia by myself. I didn't know anybody. I turned it down. I went to another corporate company. I was like, we just want you to do 2 years here. You can write your ticket, do whatever you want to. Anxiety said, you can't do that. And so, narrow tunnel vision, I turned it down. I turned down 3 different corporate jobs of people that were like, no, we really need you. We need your skills, because fear and anxiety held me back. And that is why it's so important. If you have anxiety, you've got to learn to get your hands around it and manage it, because you make choices in fear and you'll be like I did. I took the wrong fork in the road every time. So now when I look back, and it's just been since, the last 10 years or so, I
right.
look back at every choice point and went, I took the wrong road every time. But fear made the decision, not
Yes,
what was best for me, not what was best for my family, but fear. And that's why it's so important to get a coach. That is the one thing I looked over my life and I don't regret much. I said, I'm not going to regret. I really believe what Maya Angelou said, you did what you know, and when you know better, you do better. So I don't do the regret thing. But the
right.
one regret that I do have is that I didn't have a coach or a mentor, because that coach and that mentor could have sat down with me and say, hey, let's look at this. Let's lay it out. Let's look at the best plan. I think that's fear talking to you. I don't think you're looking at your capabilities, because these people want you. They say you have what they take. Low self-esteem, anxiety, and fear kept me out. I took the wrong fork in the road every time.
Right.
Now, that's how I got here. And I said there was a purpose to it because I love where I am today, but I am very passionate about helping women who are at that fork of the road and
Yes.
too afraid. They're
Yeah.
stuck in a job that they hate. They have headaches. They're sick. They're spending all this money on medication. You know what? See a coach. If you don't see me, you don't see Valerie, find an anxiety coach to coach you past that so you can make the right choice. Take the right fork in the road,
Absolutely.
you know?
Oh my gosh, it'll change your life. Literally.
Yes. Yes.
Literally. Julia, I see where you said you're too old. You're never too old.
Oh,
Never ever too old. As long as you have breath, honey, and you know it's a direction of change that you still aspire to work toward, align with a coach that's going to get you there.
yes.
Okay?
My mother got her nursing degree at 53. She dropped out of high school to have me at 15.
Mm-hmm.
She and my dad got married and she didn't have her high school diploma. The year I graduated from high school, she finished her GED. And people
Amen.
couldn't understand why my mom was wearing my cap and gown and held my annual. She finally got her degree or her GED.
Yes.
53, she walked down the aisle and she shot a thumbs up because she got her nursing degree. You're never too
Amen.
old. You are never too old to succeed. Success is working towards a worthy goal. There's no age limit on that.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. It is such a fact. And success never looks the same to
Yes.
any two individuals. It's all
Exactly.
about, living your life in fulfillment
Hmm.
and doing all the things that bring you joy. And you can sleep in peace at night and you
Hmm.
have this giddy smile on your face. You do
Yes.
whatever you want because you're in alignment with yourself. Because that's what we're doing. We're born, we live, we have that dash. It's about what you do in the meantime and all about discovering you. That's it.
Absolutely.
And it
Absolutely.
takes the right choices. And when I say right, it's just conscious choices, making
Yes.
sure you're just not settling and just making
Hmm.
something that is impromptu in the moment that you're going to live to regret later. Take the
Yes.
time and process it. One thing I vow not to do is make rash decisions. Do not do that. Don't do that. And I'll tell somebody in a minute, you know what? I got to pray about that. I'll get back to you in 48 to 72 hours. But what I'm not doing is telling you any answers today.
Yes.
Because I need to
Exactly.
weigh it out. I need to weigh all of that out.
Because your life is your life that you're living now. You're living it because of decisions you've made.
Absolutely.
Either you chose to make a decision or you chose to make a decision not at all, or you didn't make the right decision. But moment by moment, day by day, we live by the decisions we make.
Yes. All day, every day.
Every single one of them, you know. But
Oh
the
my God.
thing is, again, you did what you know. When you know better, you do better. So that
Exactly.
because sometimes we'll get caught up in self-recrimination and we beat
Oh,
ourselves up. No, just say that wasn't the right decision. Every day you wake up is a choice. You have the choice to begin anew and make better decisions.
now.
And if you
Yeah.
can't make or you're not sure of your decisions, find a coach, find a mentor, talk to your pastor, talk to a good friend, talk to your parents, talk to whomever will give you good advice. Because, some people don't necessarily give good advice, but you got to talk to the people who are going to give you good advice.
Yes. Yes. And there are tons of people out there. And do your due diligence too before you just
Yes.
connect with somebody.
Yes.
Check them out. Have a deep conversation with them
Yes.
and see how they are able to help you.
Yes.
Because, anyone that is caring and really sincere about what they do, they're not going to be so quick to sign you up for something. They're going to make sure that you are wholehearted
Hmm.
and ready to do what you're doing. Because if you're
Absolutely.
not ready, you
Absolutely.
cannot come to me. I will tell you in a minute, oh, boo, you're not ready. You're not ready yet.
Absolutely.
You're not
I do
ready
the same.
because I'm
Mm-mm,
going to
mm-mm.
come at you with some things that's going to feel uncomfortable. It's some things that's going to push you, it's going to grow you. And like I said, I'm challenge based, and it's actions according to every conversation, because my sessions aren't typical sessions. My sessions are just like what you see. That's one of the very reasons I'm here presenting this way. And it's not all about how I do it. I like to connect with people like Twanna and bring them in because we think differently. We have different roads that we're traveling, but our outcome is the exact same.
Yes.
It's about helping you get to where you're going and making conscious decisions where you can
Mm-hmm.
live in freedom every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can live in freedom every day, that's how you're living. That's what shining
Yes.
looks like.
Yes.
That's what it looks like and feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's about the energy too, because when you get like when Valerie and I first talked, it was not just an energy, but it ended up being a synergy.
Yeah.
And that's when you know you've got the right coach because the
Yeah.
energy and your energy, you get that synergy and you can feel the
Feel it.
difference. You really can feel the difference.
Yes. And every person that comes on this show that's sitting opposite of me, I have synergy with.
Yeah.
Have to have that because it's about delivering awareness to you that's going to change your life. It's going to help you. And no matter when you leave this platform, you're going to leave different. You're going to leave changed in some form because you're now educated in a way that you didn't have the knowledge before you got here. And you take that information and you apply it to your life every day in order to become who you're supposed to become. So that's what I wake up for in the morning. I've always
Yes.
done it and did it subconsciously, and grateful to be where I am now to be able to do it and make a living on it. So your happiness is my joy. Seriously. And that's what it's about. And
Yes.
when you have made those remember whens or I wish I had, I
Mm-hmm.
think back, if I had known this now, leave it where it is. Twice already mentioned it. Leave that where it is. You deal with today and move forward. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. That
Mm-hmm.
was all you were capable of making decisions of back then. That's all
Mm-hmm.
you knew. Your intellect wasn't there yet. We learn every
Yes.
single day. You're wiser than yesterday. So when you take all that wisdom and you reassess yourself and know where you stand today, that's how you go about changing your tomorrows.
Mm-hmm.
Decision and being serious about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honey,
And
we can go all day. We can
I just looked
oh,
like, where did the time go?
I don't even know what time it is.
Yeah, it's 8:06, believe it or not. I
Because this is a juicy. I mean, I
yes.
really things like this is vital. Oh my gosh. This is your life that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you have anxieties, that's something that's rearing its ugly head that says something is broken. Something needs to be taken a look at, and it's time for me to fix whatever that is because
Hmm.
I can't afford to be having panic attacks. I can't afford to have
Yes.
these anxieties popping up and that little annoying voice in your head
Yes.
that's causing you to
Yes.
make decisions that's not serving you at all. It's not serving you. So the question is, what are you going to do about the now that's going to change your tomorrow, your future? What are you doing about that? You're never too old. It's never too
Yes.
late. It's always someone who can help you. And if you need to do some searching, do some searching. If you need to have some guidance, call myself or Twanna. And if you need something in addition that's not along what we do, because we'll get you to a certain place. But
Yes.
I tell you now, I have a plethora of connections. I
Yes.
know who to pass you
Absolutely.
off to next. So by the time you make it down the yellow brick road, you're going to be good to go. I'm just saying. And usually it's not going to take that much. It's just the decision of what you do every day. Your career is 70% of your life.
That's right.
So if you've chosen the wrong one, that's your problem. Change
Yes.
that, change everything else.
Correct. Because some people's careers are cutting their life short, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy that someone's career is cutting their life short.
And you
You know?
chose it.
Correct. And you made a decision to stay in it, and it's cutting your life short. Okay.
Yes, that's it. But we can, if it's something like this, because I have made myself a promise to not go into these hour and a half, 2 hour sessions. If it's that juicy and you guys need more of this, make sure you put it in the comments. I will be more than happy to bring Twanna back. I would definitely do that because it's all about you and getting you where you're going, because where we sit, we've been graced. The Lord has given us what we
Yes.
need,
Yes. Yes.
and our
Yes.
responsibility and our choice is to give back to you. You're our
Hmm.
community, you're our village, you're our family, you're our loved ones. And that's why we do what we do. And it's going to be to your benefit to do what you were born to do as well. You know,
Yes. Yes.
it changes your life. When I can roll over and get up when I feel like it, I can set my first appointment for 11 o'clock in the morning when I want to. I can get dressed or not, but I get dressed because I feel good when I dress.
Yes.
But if I don't feel like it, then I don't. But God has given you the greatest gift in life, and it's the ability of whatever that thing is, that lives inside of you. It's up to you to awaken it and to be responsible, to accept that responsibility and live your life fully.
Mhm.
Yeah. Take me off my soapbox. I'm gonna keep going, Twanna. Keep going.
I'm enjoying it. I'm sorry, I can't stop. I'm enjoying it. So,
Yeah, because I get all full, because it's grace.
but it is. I didn't have. I mean, I'm the oldest child, so there wasn't someone to lead me. There wasn't guidance. With the social anxiety, I didn't connect well with people.
Right.
I didn't know how. And so that's why it's so great to be in this space to say, if you have social anxiety, you can, if you wanted to, you can do what I do.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, if you knew me 25, 30 years ago, you wouldn't see this person sitting here today.
Right.
But I want people to feel the freedom,
In
and
it.
that's what I feel, the freedom from social anxiety. I go to concerts now. I wouldn't go to concerts. I wouldn't go out. I didn't do a lot of things because of that fear that held me boxed in. So it is really about caring enough for people. I want you to get the same feeling, that same feeling of freedom, the same feeling that when you wake up, you want to do your job because you just love what you do.
Absolutely.
Everybody should have a chance to do that,
Yeah.
you know?
That's when you're born.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
born when you discover that. And I put a post up the other day, and I wrote, it's two monumental moments in life, and that's your birthday and the day you discover why.
Yes,
So, with knowing that, because I'll sit here and tear up, I'll do it. I always sit here crying, probably the ugly cry, because it's that beautiful.
yes.
When I say God, mm-mm. God to me stands for grace of destiny. He graces us every day with what our destiny is.
Yeah, yes,
We just choose to hear him or not.
yes.
You
Got to
know,
take that step.
you
So
have to.
that's my phone ringing. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not.
Yeah, we hear it. And we're going to wrap this up because it'll continue. That's why I say every conversation is a juicy conversation. I don't suggest anybody miss any of these shows because it's a surprise every single week. So do yourself the favor by turning the notification on. So when I pop up, I have something to say. You better believe that. I have something to say, and I have somebody fabulous to introduce you to. Because when I meet the Twannas and having people like, you know, musical guests and things that's in alignment and understanding who you are. And a lot of that is going to be discovered and shown to you of how you can really discover you with my second book. Because I've taken the letters of my name and written positive affirmations, memoirs of stories that's relative to the letters. And from my birth date to present, all in 7 letters. So you're going to get 50 chapters because I have a bonus chapter because I didn't do it in 49. So it's things like that of how I discovered myself as I played back the reels of things that's happened in my life and understanding why those things happened, why I made those choices, and having an understanding of it, writing the first book. Now this book is all about the acceptance of it all. And book 3 will be all about the lessons that I learned because of now accepting what took place. And it goes back to understanding again, making those decisions at the time, because that's all you were capable of. That's it. So accept that and choose today because your tomorrows depend on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any closing remarks that you'd like to say, Twanna?
I have so enjoyed this. I don't know about everybody else, but I have so enjoyed this. And let me just say thank you for the opening to say thank you, thank you, thank you for inviting me. This has been absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Again, I love your energy. I love it.
I love you back.
Well, thank you.
You know, what you see is the God in me, literally. I can play the Mary Mary song and just let it be my anthem. That's what you see. And it took me choosing him to be where I am, literally, and following his steps. What he say do, I do that. Let that go, I let that go. Oh gosh, if I ever start telling some stuff, which I will eventually, but it's timing for everything. But like I say, get into alignment with your conscious. Your conscious, i.e., your spirit. You are a part of the
Yeah.
Trinity. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. That Holy Spirit is you. That's where the Holy Spirit lives, in the temple. So if you're not listening to it, your fault. So don't be at fault. Embrace your truths. Accept your truths. Change what needs to be changed. Love yourself enough to discover you. Again, I introduce you to yourself and have fun doing it. So on that note, you guys are awesome. Joyce, I will put where you can get my book. It's on Amazon, How I Became Fabulous and a Lady All the Time. And definitely read that one before I Accept Me comes out. And the 3 bullets, I always have 3 bullets. And the 3 bullets on this book is I accept being bold, being brave, and being fierce. It takes being bold to change your life when you don't feel like it. It takes being brave to make that first step. And it takes being fierce to stand in your truth. It takes that. So that's your soul armor. You pick it up and you wear it, and wear it with pride and say, you know what, God, I got this because you got me. So you look at it from that standpoint, and it's nothing you cannot do. Absolutely nothing. I'm getting off the soapbox. We'll keep going. So, Pharaohs, know I love you, right? So, love without conditions, always possess a positive attitude, and soar in all you do. Love you, mean it. Switches.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you. And we'll talk offline.
Yes. Yes.
Switches.
Bye-bye.